What is up, guys? It's your boy Ray J back with another video, and in this video I'm going to be doing a quick technical analysis of Tesla. I'm going to talk about the overall price movement and what happened today before I talk about what the mainstream media is saying about Tesla as well, and give you my stock price prediction for Tesla for the near term and long term future, particularly for next week. And also I'm going to be doing something very, very similar with NEO as well. So if you like NEO, please stick to the very end of this video. But before I get started with anything else, I have to mention two quick things. First off, I'm not a financial, legal, or taxation expert or anything in that regard. So do not take this as financial, legal, or taxation advice, all for entertainment purposes only. And also, if you can, please smash that like button if you want to see more videos like this on my video. It benefits the entire community as a whole. With that all said and done and out of the way, let's get on with the technical analysis of Tesla. So looking at Tesla, we can see from the 1 day, 1 minute chart that Tesla had insane volatility for the day. When the market opened, Tesla had this run up to $761 before it began to drop just slightly and had lots of fluctuations on the way there. It did end up bouncing between levels of resistance and levels of support, just like this. And when it ended up doing that, the support it gained is at 750. So Tesla took time to beat 750. Now it not only beats 750, but it's above that, and that's now its new level of support, at least as of right now it is. And that's still absolutely amazing for Tesla because if you look at the 1 month chart, you can see that Tesla had this beautiful run up to $764 before it dropped with the overall market because it didn't drop because it's a bad company. It's not Tesla's fault. It's because when the overall market has negative sentiment, as people think there might be a crash, it affects the way buyers, buy stocks. It affects their behavior, their emotions, and that does affect Tesla in turn. But remember, this is not Tesla's fault. Tesla has been doing so many things right. They're an amazing company in terms of fundamentals and production, and they're doing well. So do not bash Tesla when it has this big drop like this, because it looks like a V shape right over here, and it's recovering, it's getting stronger, and it's ready for the next leg as it stair steps its way up. But looking at the 1 day chart, once again, we had a relatively good closing because Tesla was at the level of support. It's low at $750.13 at one point. However, the buyers, the Tesla holders, we were not having it, guys. We pushed it up and up and up at the very end, and it had this beautiful run up to 750 $759.49, which is where it ended up closing, and it was up over 0.33% for the day. Let's go. It's doing well. It's in the green, and I do apologize because in my previous video, I did predict that Tesla would close around 755 to 756, and as you guys can see, it did spend a lot of time around that area, especially during the beginning, so my prediction was not too far off, but I did think that today would be a slightly red day, maybe 0.3% red, but it ended up being 0.33% in the green. So I do apologize that based off technicals, my analysis wasn't always perfect. But nonetheless, guys, I'm still super bullish for Tesla. I'm excited for their future. They're doing well. They're doing great. But before I go any further about price predictions or anything like that, let's look at other pieces of data. Looking at a Bollinger Band chart right over here real quick, you could see that it made many significant movements on both the upside and the downside. So anytime it had this drop, it did end up going towards the mean price and a little bit lower than that. But anytime it had these run-ups, it was above the mean price, which shows that it has that buying momentum and that power. It's like a power to go up and up and up and up. But the main reason why I showed you this is to show you how strong this closing actually was. When Tesla was at $750, we were not having it, guys. We wanted Tesla in the green. The buyers came in, they pushed it up, especially during power hour. They pushed it, and the majority of the time it was above the mean price. It did close a little bit above the mean price, but it went high and high and high, and it was about one standard deviation away from the mean price the majority of the time, which shows it was pushing its way up. It was ready for another move, and it was coming to that $760 level of resistance. And looking at some RSI data real quick, we did touch the upper band multiple times, 1, 2, 3, 4 times around that much. And that's really good because Tesla once again has that upward momentum coming. It ended up closing at 54.44, which is still absolutely phenomenal. It closed on the higher end of that spectrum, and that's absolutely beautiful for Tesla because it's getting ready for its stair stepping its way up. It's getting ready for the next leg. It's ready, guys. Tesla's looking beautiful, but you cannot forget that this does depend on how the overall market is doing. It does somewhat depend on how, buyer sentiment is, but that doesn't totally matter completely because Tesla is still doing great and it should be even higher than this. But before I get into specific details about the price predictions, let's look at other pieces of data out there. it was noted that a Tesla driver was arrested and they spent the night in jail for allegedly hitting a crossing guard. And the video does show a different story. So this was a big thing that happened in the news. A guy was driving a Tesla basically, and they accidentally started moving forward because a crossing guard may have signaled them to do that. They ended up hitting the crossing guard and they got arrested for it. But the video shows that they just tapped them and it was nothing major. And I'm very, very grateful that no one was injured. So that's a great, 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 great um, great, great, great sign, guys. I do not like seeing anyone get injured. I wish people the best. So it's good that no one was had any major injuries or anything like that. It was just a touch, and it's a-okay. But there were good news. There was lots of good news that came out as well, such as from Electric, which stated that Tesla will make sure you are a good driver before giving you access to full self-driving beta. And I do think that's a good sign because Tesla is doing what they can to not only follow guidelines but keep things safe for their people. And before you guys attack their computing system, you have to remember that they're relatively new. The full self-driving beta V10 software update is coming and it is doing well, but you have to remember that it's still relatively new. Because how long has this technology existed? And then you have to ask yourself, what's going to happen in the future in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? Can you imagine how developed this technology is going to be? So, this is just the start of it. I know there are going to be difficulties in it, but even though people are attacking it, even though the media says things, they're still testing it and it's still doing well. It's still doing absolutely phenomenal. It uses a 3D rendering system. It uses vector space. The car is able to use its camera to use thermal technology and actually see many different things that we may not even notice. It could actually see cars that are like 100 feet away, and it sees everything simultaneously. And based off the data it has, it makes moves. They also have like 10,000 different clips that where the cars study and actually learn. So the cars are basically thinking, and the software is improving. So that's a good, good, good sign because they're getting ready to release the full self-driving beta technology. The updates are coming. It's improving like crazy, and I'm very, very proud of Tesla for this. So that's a big, big, big piece of news, and it's a big sign. And they are talking about their software. It was all over the news today, and that's a good, good, good sign. As Elon Musk actually spoke about it, that's I mean, it just makes me very, very happy that Elon Musk and Tesla are getting ready. They're developing. They're just doing quite well. So that may have played a big role in Tesla's upward momentum for the day because there was good news, guys. Tesla is the future. It's doing well, and I'm super, super, super bullish. So I did just kind of skim over those. I didn't go into too many specific details, but I just want you guys to know that I'm still very, very bullish. So for next week, guys, I think the big level resistance we're going to have to beat would be the $760 level of resistance. And I do believe that Tesla is going to break it, and we could potentially see a breakout next week to 765 before we consolidate, maybe close in the low 760s, but 760s should be coming. However, guys, once again, do not forget about how there is some negative sentiment for buyers in the market, even institutionalized investors. And that doesn't mean Tesla's not great because Tesla's an amazing company. I believe they're going to be in the thousands quite soon. By quite soon, I mean within a year from now, probably we should see Tesla to 1,000 by then. But it's going to take time and patience. And do not be worried or let the mainstream media scare you into making wrong decisions. We are intelligent investors. We know Tesla's the future. And with that said, guys, do not quit. So also, guys, I'm going to look at Neo now, and it closed exactly where I said it would. I told you guys yesterday. If you don't believe me, check my previous video. I said that Neo would probably close around 37.50. It closed at 37.51. Off by 1 cent, guys. My prediction was almost completely accurate. So what happened to Neo was absolutely crazy today. So looking at the 1 day, 1 minute chart, you could see insane volatility. Neo was just jumping back and forth and back and forth. It was absolutely crazy. And it happened over such a short period of time. I mean, just look at this graph right over here. You could see it was just bouncing back and forth and back and forth. Neo was just a roller coaster today before it had this beautiful, beautiful cup and handle like looking pattern right over here. And that looked quite good in my opinion. It looked quite good because Neo had this beautiful run up that was about 1 standard deviation away from the mean, and it did close a little bit above the mean price, just below one standard deviation away from it, but a little bit above it. And it closed at $37.51, once again up 1.13%. And looking at some RSI data real quick. Oops, I just messed up. Let's put some RSI data right over here. You could see the beautiful, beautiful closing it had, but looking at the 1 day chart, you could see that it remained quite stagnant. However, the volatility was still up there, and it did end up on the upper band a couple of times, and it did close towards the upper band, so it had a very strong closing. And you might be asking yourself, why did NEO have such a strong closing? Well, there was a huge piece of news that came out. This was reported on CNBC, and it's the fact that Elon Musk has praised Chinese automakers as Tesla works to improve the company's reputation. You heard that properly, guys. Elon Musk has praised the EV companies of China. This is what Elon Musk said. He said he has a great deal of respect for the many Chinese automakers for driving these EV technologies, Musk said. In the 3 minute appearance, Musk said that Chinese car makers are some of the best at software, which he said will shape the future of the automobile industry. So, once again, guys, for those of you who don't know, Tesla's goal was never to become a monopoly. Their goal was never to be the number one car company for EVs. So, obviously, guys, they are aiming for the sky and trying to be number one, but that's not their only goal. Their goal was to accelerate the development of EV technologies, and they wanted to they ended up giving away their patents and helping other companies as well, because their main goal is to be more collective and improve the earth as a whole, different countries as a whole, not just the US, not just Tesla. So this is good because it's bringing in competition to the market. These EV companies are developing different softwares, they're producing many, many, many cars, and they're very, very happy for what is going on. So when you look at Tesla, they're increasing the amount of Chinese vehicles that they're selling in China, and despite that, Elon Musk implicitly just praised Neo, basically. He didn't explicitly call out Neo or Xpeng or anything like that, but he just said that the Chinese companies are doing well. He's proud of the market, and they're doing well. So that's a huge sign for Neo, and that would explain why Neo had these beautiful run-ups, and the downward pressure may still exist because of the news that came out from the regulators being more strict on Chinese companies. But even though that came out, even though there was some negative news, NEO powered through and closed in the green. So for my stock price prediction, once again, if you look at the 1 month chart, you could see NEO is still a little bit down because of many external factors, such as the global chip shortage and the accident that happened about a month and a half ago. But despite that, I'm still bullish for NEO, both short term and long term. I think we should see NEO back in the $38 range by next week. And for the long term future, we should see NEO go well above this range, and we should see NEO to 100 by the end of next year, in my opinion. So within a year and a half, I believe NEO should be close to $100 a share. But obviously, that's just based off my prediction right now. There could be external factors that change that, such as the global chip shortage, such as how the overall market does, such as what the sentiment is of buyers. But based off that, guys, it doesn't matter. 1 year is just a short period of time. What about 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years? Where do you see NEO, guys? I'm super, super, super bullish for both NEO and Tesla. I do not want to compare these companies. They're both the future. They're both doing well, and I believe in their fundamentals. So with that all said and done, guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a great, great, great weekend, and I want you to be strong, intelligent, and not give up on your dreams. Thank you once again, and peace out.